Ah, I'm a ghost. Yes, I've taken on being a ghost today. Um, I'm in the ghost form of Gengar, the ghost Pokemon from the original 150, which just happens to be my favorite type of Pokemon. And in fact, Gengar is really my favorite Pokemon altogether. A lot of people like Pikachu, but I do too, but I like Gengar better. Anyway, this video is about demons and my personal belief and classification on them. There's 3 types, and this is reverse order, so or counting up, whichever you want to word it. Let's get started. The first thing I want to say before I do get into it, I say a lot. This list may be already around or similar to another person's. If you do know anything about that, or you've seen this before, please feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to look at that other person's list. And second, this is just my own thing. If you have your own system, please feel free to share with me. I like hearing other people's opinions and beliefs. I don't say mine is, definite, but to me, this is what I feel is, correct. But I've been known to be wrong so many times, so it's correct in my worldview, I guess, to say. Because we all have our own worldview and see things differently. But I always like learning other people's opinions and thoughts and beliefs. It's how we learn. That and asking questions. Let's start with the veil, which is 0, I guess. The veil that thins every Samhain or Halloween, that lets the spirits easily cross over and be seen. Well, that counts for demons too, but I like to think that demons and spirits and ghosts and all that are already here on this plane of reality, the physical plane. And we don't really technically need the veil to see. I mean, if you have your third eye open, pretty much your veil's open. And you can see the unseen. But I like to think that, we can see these things with our mundane eyes, which I have a habit of actually doing more than my actual third eye, by the way. If there was a way where I could combine my third eye with my 2 eyes, I'd be set for life, I think. But demons of the terrestrial plane, or Earthbound. You've heard of Earthbound spirits, right? Well, same thing for demons. Created by the gods or whatever, sent down here, or come up from the underworld or hell, whatever your personal belief is on that. Pretty much demons that are born of this world, the physical plane and reality that you and I are currently inhabiting. Needless to say, demons of 2 and 3 could be stuck here, but which would also count. But mainly I'm going for, demons that, would be like your typical demons. Your the ones that you see in Hollywood movies and video games and all that stuff, stories, your typical demons. Now, there is a distinct difference in demons, I found out in my journey. I'll get into that in another video. Right now I'm just classifying, the type of, I guess location type? Or, I don't know. It's a working title. But Earthbound or Terrestrial Demons of this Earth. Number 2, Extraterrestrial Demons. Demons from space. Not necessarily our solar system, but demons from actual space. Somewhere not of this Earth or another dimension. Which, this goes into number 3's just a little bit. But I'll get to that a little bit later. Extraterrestrial demons are pretty much demons from space, yes. It's kind of a weird concept, but writers like H.P. Lovecraft and his circle of mythos writers like Clark Ashton Smith, Robert E. Howard, which he was a part of the group, the guy who created Conan, August Derleth, pretty much wrote about, these horrible space monsters such as Cthulhu, Nyarlathotep, Azathoth, the god of madness and chaos, the blind god. Pretty much these living entities from space. Like, for example, Cthulhu is from the 23rd Nebula, and his homeworld, which I seem to forget at the moment, is inhabited by 2 dark stars, or suns. So, bend your mind around that. There's a planet full of Cthulhus, and I'm pretty sure we all know what he is, and what he looks like. Yeah. And he's pretty much the baddest of the bad, but I've actually pondered, what if there's one actually worse than him? And that's out there in space. Now, do they have technology? Possibly. Are they considered aliens too? Kinda. The term alien is anything not known to a specific ecosystem or system in general. That's what paraphrasing the meaning of the word alien. So technically, demons are aliens, at least in this sense, for number 2 and number 3. Earthbounds, if they've been here before humans ever arrived, then technically, that's the other way around. But creation myths vary country by country, so is one of my beliefs that Lovecraft and his circle of writers actually wrote about their own personal experiences they knew no one would believe them, so they wrote it in, science fiction horror stories and hid them in plain sight. Me and my friend Harry, who's from England, and a couple other people believe that. And this goes into number 3, which is Interdimensional, which is similar to Extraterrestrial, but the only difference is, to quote Lovecraft, the spaces between space, or space between spaces, which goes back to the veil, I guess, for Earth, and pretty much your interdimensional planes of existence. I guess the shadow people would kind of fit that, because I ran into a few people. Oh, sorry. I ran into a few people in a few groups that believe like there's like an actual shadow Earth world similar to our own, but of course they claim they were vampire, jackal, werewolves, dragon. So take that for what you will, just like I did. I'm like, No offense to the otherkin and Therian community, but some of you people are kind of... Like, I can believe you can be one thing, possibly another, but when you start saying you're a jackal, werewolf, demon, vampire, shadow stuff, that's when I start to get, like, knock it off. No offense or anything to anybody of that Therian otherkin lifestyle, but some people just like to take it too far, I think. Like one was a firefox, and she was whacked out of her gourd. Of course, they kicked her out of the group we were both in, but she's just a religious nutter that likes to break her own rules. But that's already in another video, actually. I've already covered that. Let's see. Trying to explain, like, we'll use my my guardian demon for an example. Like, when he was given to me, he was summoned from another dimension plane, brought to here, and see, I had it written down, like, me and Amanda, we'll call her today, still, we talk back and forth, and I keep records of all these things that, that's what I like to do. I like to keep records of stuff, of our conversations that pertain to the demonic, spirits, magic, what have you. And I had it, but my fucking phone got a virus, and I ended up rebooting it, and I lost everything on them. Not everything, but like where he's from. Actually, I still have a piece of paper written on the type he is, but that's just as, a good primary example here. He comes from another place, and he's actually a specific type. It is really windy here, and it's about to storm like shit. So I'm going to hurry this up. Because I'm in the shed, by the way. I am not in my house. With a leaky roof. So, so pretty much, using that as a good example, demons from other dimensions, planes of reality, I guess you could say timeline, like an alternate timeline, like there's another timeline where I'm not doing this in the shed, I'm doing it in my room where I was earlier, till Pesky decided to dominate the table that I was using. And there's a dimension on that where she didn't, and I wouldn't be in here. I don't know if you can hear that, but that wind is really getting bad. But pretty much demons between known space, the space between spaces, which I actually like that. It is raining really bad outside. So I'm going to wrap this up. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Please read the description, because I had this written out, and it's on my phone, which is a brief thing on what I just talked about. If you have anything you want to share about your experiences or your beliefs on this subject, please feel free to let me know. I would love hearing about yours. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up. It's getting really bad. If you can hear that, yeah. Alright, bye.